Hello again, welcome back to Blackpool for more action from the Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships. We've now reached the semi-final stage of the men's event. 4 terrific quarter-finals and 2 great semis now in prospect. Let's just remind you of how those 4 quarter-finals worked out. And here's confirmation that Phil Harrison, the defending champion, put out Adam Davis. That was a tense one. Mick Hill was pretty impressive against Gareth Hibbert. A fantastic match between Jason Twist and Craig Waddingham, and the youngster edging through 9-8, and Gareth Potts putting out Lee Clough 9-4, which leaves us with 2 semi-finals looking like this. First of all, it'll be Phil Harrison against Mick Hill. That's in this programme. And next up, it'll be Gareth Potts against Craig Waddingham. Now, I'm delighted to say that Lee Kendall's joined me here in the studio. Lee, those 4 matches were in their own way intriguing, weren't they? We saw some great stuff, which promises for even better in the semis. Yeah, and now you're down to the last 4, and you've got probably the 4 best players in the tournament. They played really well. This one should be the pick of the 2, I would say. Yeah, how nervous will these players now be? Because the quarters are always very tense, because you're so close, but you're not quite there. Now they're at the semis, they're 1 match away from the final. It's 2 types of nerves. The first one is you're trying to get used to the conditions and the bigger table. The second one is you're trying to get in the final. Now, the 2 guys who are up for this match, they've both been in the final before. You know, you've got the defending champion against a previous winner, so they should both be fine now. And Phil and Mick, of course, it's a rerun of last year's final, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to call. I mean, Mick will go in as a favourite, but as we saw last year, Phil is more than capable of turning him over. Let's have a look at Phil's record so far in the tournament. He's made good progress. You were saying he hasn't had the best of years, but he's got a lot of resilience, this guy. He's a fighter, and he edged out Adam Davis at a time when I think you felt Adam was going to take the match. Well, I just couldn't see how Phil could win the match, how he turned up and played, but, you know, he's a fighter, he's a great player, and he was defending his title, and so he wanted to win. Well, it says seeded 1 at the moment. He's getting those performances in accordance with that. Let's take a check then on Mick, and he was struggling at one stage in his match against Gareth, but then he eased away and he won quite comfortably in the end, didn't he? Yeah, his break started to work, and, you know, Mick's a great player, and if his break starts to work, whoever he plays, they're in trouble. So what sort of match are we going to see now? Is it going to be a repeat of the final last year? Who's going to go off quickest? Well, Mick won't want Phil to get into a style of pool where he likes to be a bit, not negative, but he likes to take control of matches where Mick likes to play at a quicker speed, so Mick will try and impose his style of pool this year, I think. But you're going to sit on the fence again, are you? Not give me a winner? No, I'll go for Mick. I think Mick will have more this year to oust the world champion. Thanks, Lee. Right, I hope you at home are ready for this match. We certainly are. Let's now go to our commentary team, Keith, Sean and David Hendon.
Could you please welcome players, Phil Harrison, Mick Hill.
Well, it may be the 2010 World Championship, but memories are still fresh from last year when Phil Harrison beat Mick Hill 11-7 to win the title. Hill was favourite then. He's got a chance now to gain some revenge and put himself through to the final. He's now first to 10 frames. The handshake before we start. Could be a very interesting match, this.
Phil Harrison to break.
As Harrison tries to keep his title defence on track. He's going to break in frame 1. And as he does break, Sean, it's hard not to think back to last year, isn't it?
Well, definitely. As this year, Mick Hill came into that match as favourite in that final. Everybody was tipping Mick Hill, didn't really give Phil a chance, and Phil proved that all those people wrong. He took control of the match. Mick Hill's break didn't work for him that evening in this arena, and I think that will be the secret to this match again today. If Mick Hill can get his break going like he did do in the second half of his quarter-final match, and I think we'll see a different
30
outcome.
seconds.
If it doesn't, I think you'll see Phil exert the same control as he did on that night 12 months ago. And just as we see Mick,
yellow balls in play.
With a chance in frame 1 here, Phil Harrison's still employing the cut break that he used throughout that quarter-final. I know our co-commentator here, Keith Brewer, is not a fan of that, and but say Phil's decided he's going to keep going with that. Keith?
Yeah, so it would seem, like I said, I'm not a fan of it particularly, but he didn't have a bad ratio with it. He did make a ball a few times with the cut break, and one thing it does do, it does split the balls up pretty nice. But it just doesn't guarantee, because you're not getting enough pace into the cue ball and into the pack. I just don't think it's doing enough damage. I think the break's so big now, isn't it? And they've just thrown this table straight over to Mick here straight away, and he fancies his chances, as you can see.
Yeah, I think we saw in our fourth quarter final programme, Gareth Potts pulled out some thunderous breaks there in that match with Lee Clough, and it just showed that once, by doing that, as you say, the ball split all open, and if you're making one, he was leaving himself with some fairly straightforward finishes.
Six years since Mick Hill won his one world title here in Blackpool. A lot of people fancying him from the off again this year. Been away, hasn't he, from 8-ball pool recently? He's been playing American pool, but he's come back determined to take this title again.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this in the quarter-final match, that I think that break's done him some good. So I think what happens with Mick, he gets just that little bit stale. He's just such a good player. I wouldn't say he gets like bored with winning, if you like. It's not the right words to use, but his game he loses the edge off it. And I think by taking that break from it, he sort of rediscovers that hunger for the game. I know he did it before. And as he said, he told me then when he came back, I said, you know, what's happening? Oh, he says, I've rediscovered my love of the game of 8-ball pool again. And this was a few years ago, and he came out, I think he won about 4 titles out of 6 that year. And it really showed. Oh, as we see a mistake there from Mick Hill.
Red balls in play.
Frame 1. It sort of reaffirmed his love for the game, and I think that's happened again, Keith.
Well, it's the old saying, Sean, isn't it? You know, a change is as good as a rest, and I think what he did, rather than stop playing altogether, he's just tried another discipline, because some of the other lads have done that. I mean, obviously Darren with notable success as well, and he's come back and he looks a slightly better player for it. I know that's a hard thing to say because he's such a great player anyway, but he just seems that little bit more clinical and in love with the game again, like you just said.
Yeah, certainly so, but he won't be in love with the game at this point in time after missing that yellow into the middle, because he's handed the initiative in frame 1 back to Phil Harrison. All those reds nicely positioned in the middle of the table. Just a question of picking his way around the finish here.
Didn't play well, did he, in his quarter-final against Adam Davis, but he did come through. It'll be interesting to see if he can just relax a little bit. He looked to be under pressure, being defending champion. There was a lot of talk before he went out to play that match about the fact that only one player, Gareth Potts, had ever defended the title. Can he relax here in the semi-final? It won't be easy, of course, because he's playing a great player, but I must say I do expect him to play a bit better than he did in that quarter-final.
Well, not just that, Dave. I think he has to play a little bit better because he was below par. I think both players were below par in that quarters. But I also think there was a lot of respect there, and maybe they were trying a little bit too hard, you know, 2 gladiators fighting it out kind of thing. But certainly, Phil will have to play better in this match against Mick if he's gonna prevail.
Yeah, I think it was almost a match of desperation, that quarter-final. You know, Phil desperate to hang on to this title, having finally secured the crown after so many years of being close, and Adam Davis been so close in the previous 2 years, feeling maybe this was his year, and I think that's why it turned into such a dogfight, and that's why the standard was probably not as well, certainly not as high as we're used to seeing from these people. That's all in the history books now, as Phil Harrison works his way around this finish in the opening frame of this semi-final, this year's Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships.
Certainly some escape he made. He was 8-6 down, won the last 3 frames. He'd rather it's not quite as close, I'm sure, here. As ever, important to try and make a good start. It was an unexpected miss by Mick Hill to let him in. Phil Harrison has cleared up in a manner you would expect from the reigning world champion. He leads 1-0.
1 frame on.
So we're all square here, 1 apiece. First to 10, he's through to the world final. Phil Harrison to break in frame 3.
A little bit more power on that break and makes the ball. Now he's potted around all the yellows in the open here, Keith, and it's probably the suit he's going to be going for.
Yeah, I think yellows do look the better suit here. He's just been a little bit unlucky with the red near the cue ball there, because that's actually blocking the pocket, isn't it, for a couple of the yellows?
30 seconds.
Be interesting to see if he goes all out for the finish here, because it isn't a give me finish. And with all the reds being kind of near that one particular pocket, and they're not planted either, you know, it's very tempting just to stick a yellow over that pocket and gain your advantage. The kind of thing that Phil would have done last year in the final. Be interesting to see if he does it this year.
And speaks the voice of the master tactician, Keith Brewer, who wrote the textbook on tactics, the game of pool. And many players over the year have read that book and employed the tactics to varying degrees of success.
30 seconds.
This shot's going to tell us a lot now. Interesting, guys. Thought he might just stick that over the pocket there.
Yeah, maybe this is just looking to send a message to Mick Hill that maybe he's just going to play in a slightly different style this year, even though he enjoyed much success, obviously, with capturing that world title. I just feel after his quarter-final match that he probably got bogged down a little bit with, you know, playing a little bit negative, and he perhaps think, well, I'm just going to be a little bit more positive in this match, and you know, hopefully it'll pull out that the A game that I know I've got.
Well, they all pot. Probably the hardest shot he's going to have here is getting back on the black, because when he pots these last two yellows down the bottom part of the table, it could be tricky to get back up for the black ball. As we always say, it's about cue ball control from here. He's picked them off well so far. He's obviously done his little map in his mind of the way he's going to take these out. Looks to be in prime position at the moment. But because these other yellows only pot in the one pocket, he has to be very precise from here.
I think once he's potted these, he's left a nice big area there. He can, like I say, just get the cue ball back out into up the table for the black. Almost certainly top left. Got to be a little bit careful here. I want to have been a little bit straighter on this, because as he screws back, and if he does screw back, he would be running to the red. Look, so it looks like he's playing this through with top spin. She's done, looking to take the black then, left hand middle pocket. Quite a thin cut on this black, certainly makeable. Oh, he's going for the double, I think, Keith. Yeah, he has done. Great shot there from Phil Harrison.
Yeah, he looks sharp, doesn't he? A lot sharper than he did at the start of the quarter-final. He's gone ahead again at 2-1. Just one in it then, in the semi-final. Harrison leading 3-2. Here's Mick Hill to break frame 6.
Well, all of the body weight into that, and look at the cue ball. Mick Hill's willing it. The arms are out. He's trying to keep that cue ball out of the middle pocket, and his wish has come true.
Well, he's been living every shot, hasn't he, of this match?
Yeah, certainly so. He says he saw after that break off, all the body movement into it, and So after a scrappy 5th frame, full of errors, Mick Hill got a great opportunity here to erase the memory of those errors and break and finish, level the match and say, right, let's start again.
Yeah, I think, as you say, just needs something to kick him into life, and takes out the frame here. That might set him going in the match. He might be able to get away from Harrison.
Well, you know, Dave, I think that Phil's let him off the hook here, and I think the leaving him that shot out the snooker, which for all the good players, we know we're going to be very close to them kind of shots. It's always nice when you get them. But once Mick had missed, he's missed the trick here for sure, because you could see Mick was upset. He was upset with the whole match so far, really. If he'd have been gone 4-1 up, he'd have been sat in his chair now, shaking his head. And now he feels like he's been let off the hook, and now he's going to break and dish for 3-all. Phil knows he's let him off the hook.
Oh, you hear again there the sigh from Mick Hill. He was certainly trying to leave himself on the red into the bottom left-hand corner pocket here. And he's overcooked that screw shot once again. Did that twice in the previous frame. You see, you can't see that ball top left. He's going to be forced to take one of the two reds into either middle pocket.
30 seconds.
The problem with both those shots, he's sending the cue ball up the table. It looks like he's taking this top right, actually, this red. Top left as you look now. Oh, great recovery there from Mick Hill. He's just put himself in a little bit of trouble. See there, just a little bit of a grimace. I think he's okay. He just snicks this thin. Just got to avoid the black on the way out. I think he might be electing to take the rest here, which is unusual. A little bit naughty there, Mick Hill. He should have stood and waited for the referee during the timeout. The timeout's granted, so the referee can retrieve the rest. Mick should have actually just stood and waited. But I don't think Phil will be objecting too much to that. So nice shot though with the rest there from Mick Hill. Opted to run into the black. Leave a far simpler finish.
Well, he could so easily have been 4-1 down. But after 6 frames, he's all square. Suddenly Mick Hill is feeling much happier. It's 3-3.
3 frames all.
So Phil Harrison, who could have been 4-1 up, he's breaking off here in frame 7, all square at 3-3.
And the black's down, so void break. No penalty for this, but nothing gained either. The referee will re-rack the balls, and it'll be restarted by Phil Harrison, no penalty.
Same play to break, no penalty. Time running.
So Phil Harrison could have been 4-1 up, but after 6 frames, he's all square at 3-3, and this is frame 7.
Well, it was the black the first time round, and it was nearly the white the second time.
Open table.
All the yellows are spread here. It's just a question of finding an opening pot here for Mick Hill. He has got the one that will go top left as we look on the overhead.
.30 seconds.
Looks like he's opting to take the far more difficult shot here. Super shot there from Mick Hill. Doesn't want to nudge that yellow too
Yellow ball's in
far.
play.
It was a risk and reward shot there. And Mick Hill has been rewarded.
Can you not just see the change in his demeanour around the table, guys? I mean, you know, he should have been 4-1 down, possibly 5-1 down, and he's 3-all. He's been let off the hook, and you know what they say
30
when
seconds.
that happens. So he could be quite a dangerous animal now.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like he's given himself a mental slap around the face at the end of frame 5 as he returned to his seat. He was clearly angry with himself. And as you say, certainly showing a lot more positive body language now.
On the other side of that, of course, Phil Harrison, who was looking so relaxed, will be feeling I should never have let him in. He opened the door, Mick Hill took full advantage, went right through it.
Yeah, for many years, Mick Hill was labelled with one of the best players around not to have won the world title. Came to the fore at a very early age, and after he'd secured that first title in 2004, a lot of people felt he'd probably go on and win, you know, several more titles in the years to come. I mean, Gareth Potts has come along in that time though and challenged him. Has been in the final, as both last year and in 2007 when he lost to Potts. And he probably feels now is the time that he secured his second world title.
He's starting to play well now. He's looking relaxed. And most important of all, he's now in front. Mick Hill takes the lead by 4 frames to 3.
8th frame. Mick Hill to break. Leading 4 frames to 3. Time running.
So Mick Hill has won 3 frames in a row. He's ahead for the first time in the match at 4-3.
Red down,
Ball potted.
bottom left. To spread far and wide, but just a little cluster there. The black, the red and the yellow. Close to the top middle pocket as we look on the overhead there. Just wonder if the yellow would go past that red into the middle pocket.
Yellow. Yellow ball's nominated.
30
And I
seconds.
think that's what's forced his choice here. Certainly the remaining of the reds are all in a good position. It's just that one that's in between the yellow and the black.
Yellow ball's in play.
Just having a look there, Mick. Just got to be a little bit concerned that obviously if he tries to develop that area, he doesn't knock the black into the pocket.
30 seconds.
Clearly went, but I don't think he didn't want to contact the yellow on the way back out, I'm sure. I think he's okay. I think he's got options with the yellows into the other middle pocket, so no great damage done here for Mick Hill. be looking to clear the balls all in this one area, Keith, won't he? Sort of keep all his work in a small area.
Well, if he's made his mind up he's going for the finish, which I'm sure he has, then taking into account where the black is, obviously if you come down table last, you know, it's easier to get onto the black because it will pop into the top pocket. So it's all about positioning, as we've said before. It's all about the cue ball control. You can see he's having a good look there. It does pass. He's still got to play a couple of very good positional shots, but he's kind of more positive now, guys. You can see that in him, can't you?
Yeah, he's really up for it. It's amazing how these matches turn round. He really looked like he'd made a mess of the 5th frame, but having won that, the next 2 is looking a lot better.
Well, he did look at one point as if he wanted to take that yellow into the left-hand middle pocket, but decided that wasn't the option. He's run into it, and a nice little result there for him. He just drops this one into the bottom right, stun off that one into the bottom left. For that 8 ball, top left-hand corner as we look. Just having another look at that. I think he's just finished a little bit straight on this yellow, has he? Here again, the big sigh from Mick Hill.
Well, he's actually played a good shot to punch the cue ball out. He's come straight, but he can pinch this. Yeah, very good shot.
Well, he's kept Phil Harrison welded to his seat. Mick Hill is firmly on top now. He's won 4 frames in a row, and he leads this semi-final by 5 frames to 3.
So this first semi-final here in Blackpool turning out to be as intriguing as we hoped. How do you see it going?
Well, Mick's now got the lead, and you'd think that he'd push on from the stage. Important 5th frame, I think. He managed to pinch that on a few mistakes, but you can't see anything other than a Mick Hill win, I would say.
But just occasionally he's allowed himself to be drawn in, hasn't he, by Phil? I mean, these tactics sort of upset him and get to him, and you can see the frustration at times clearly visible.
Yeah, it's probably from last year's final. He's probably in his head thinking, well, this isn't going to happen to me again, but now he's got the lead, you'd think that he could probably hold on to it.
But Phil's a real fighter, isn't he?
Oh yeah, as you saw in his quarter-final match, he doesn't give up easy.
But of course, we said this is a rerun of last year's final, and of course we all know what happened. Phil won it, and Mick is, you know, not safe yet.
No, Phil's a world-class player, so you can't write Phil off.
So anything can happen between now and the end, but your money would still be on Mick.
Still on Mick, yeah.
OK, thanks very much indeed. Let's now go back to commentary.
Phil Harrison to break. Trailing 5 frames to 3. Time running.
So Phil Harrison, defending champion here in Blackpool, in a little bit of trouble. He trails 5-3.
Open table.
What a waste of time that break is. Absolutely hate that break.
Get off the fence, Keith.
Yeah.
You're not being won over, are you?
Well, what we're going to do, Keith, we're going to go out after this game, we're going to talk to Phil Harrison. We're going to get him to convince you
30 seconds.
about the merits of that cup break. But, okay, he's probably looking to go reds here. Red into the middle. He's got it.
Red ball's in play.
So, just looking to flick the red in off the yellow here, and remove it out of the way of the pocket. Also looking there at the red that's just above. He's pointing at it now. So he wants to get in there. Maybe he's developed that as well.
"30 seconds.
Shot.
Never liked it, Sean, that shot. his other option was just to pot and move, which is what I think most of us would have done. He was trying to keep close control there with the cue ball, but I never liked it because there was just so much could go wrong, and that's what's happened.
So he's weighing up here. I think he's weighing up the plant into the middle pocket. He plays that
30
red onto
seconds.
the red to the right of it now on the overhead. And so he keeps pointing with his cue.
Yeah, it's going to be an offset cut back plant into the middle pocket with pike.
And he's made it. What a great recovery there from Mick Hill. Has he just been a little bit unlucky again here? He's got a red into the bottom right hand corner, I think. You just see on the overhead, yeah. So those two reds have finished a little bit close together in the middle of the table. They obviously both pot from the other side of the table. Again, the plant from Mick Hill.
It's amazing how all the hard shots become easy when your confidence is right up, and it's just changed so much since that one frame. And Mick looks like he just can't miss now, no matter where the balls are. He's getting all the little cannons are going his way, all the little kisses are going his way, and then when he makes a mistake, he's pulling out a great shot. One-way traffic, guys.
Yeah, because that shot was indicative of the way the match has turned, because earlier on when he's cannoning into a ball, he could have quite easily stuck behind it. It's just come out nicely.
Point is, he's got the confidence to play these crunch shots. He's getting them. He's reeling off frames. That's 5 in a row. Mick Hill is in control. He leads by 6 frames to 3. Phil Harrison back in contention, trailing 6-4.
Oh, Keith.
Open
I
table.
don't know whether he's heard you.
Come on, Sean, he's learning.
Victory salute there from Keith Brewer in the commentary box. Thinks he's finally won Phil Harrison over the cut break, but the problem is he's broke there, not potted anything. And you could see Mick Hill extending that lead again.
Well, taking a look at the Reds, yeah,
so the Reds will be the ball here.
Nothing to say on this one, I think. So we'll just enjoy this one.
Red ball's in play.
I just think you'll see Mick Hill take a little bit more care in this finish. You know, last frame he had a finish on, played a very, very loose shot, and he came back down the table. And he missed the ball and then into the top right-hand corner. Ultimately, that cost him that for 10th frame.
Yes, of course, he's experienced enough to know that these matches can swing round and players can reel off frames in a row. He just wants to keep ahead of Phil Harrison. That's the one aim he will have, and if he does, he'll win. Simple as that. Or it sounds simple anyway.
Always very easy sat here in the commentary box, Dave. You said on many occasions never missed a shot from here.
No, I fancy winning it from here this year, Sean.
Unfortunately, you're one first timer at this event who's not going to be winning it, but Craig Waddingham has a great opportunity as a first time visitor to these championships. Already disposed of one former champion, two-time former champion Jason Twist. He meets a 3-time former champion in the shape of Gareth Potts in our second semi-final.
Yeah, one to savour for sure.
Well, I cannot believe Mick Hill has
Yellow
missed
ball,
that.
please.
As you see, he goes walkabout. We can see the scoreboard in the background. Yeah, he's looking up thinking, well, that should now be at least 7-4, if not 8-4, after the last 2 frames.
I don't know what it was, whether it was carelessness, whether it was pressure, bad contact, I don't know, but bottom line is he missed it,
30 seconds.
and he's let Harrison in.
I just thought my first reaction there was that he snatched it a little bit. You know, it was a slightly longer pot possibly than what we like, because obviously we're on the bigger table. But that was my first thought. Anyway, Phil's done the right thing, of course. Played the snooker, brought his one ball, bad ball into play. He's got it right this time, by the way. He's not left him an easy escape.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just incredible to see Mick Hill miss a ball like that. I mean, it's just... I don't know. Really know what to say about it. And probably from Mick Hill's point of view, the least said the better.
30 seconds.
I guess it proves the point we were saying, though. It's not easy when you're down there. Pressure can get to you for whatever reason. He was looking comfortable. You expected him to take the frame out. As I say, for whatever reason, it didn't happen.
Well, in this sport, we talk about turning points quite a lot, and we've already had one in this particular match, the one where Phil left Mick the escape.
Well, that was a fantastic effort there from Mick Hill. Absolutely unbelievable attempt. He's nearly clipped that red into the middle pocket. And the one thing he has done is block that yellow now. And you see there at the bottom of the screen. Make sure the yellow doesn't pass into the middle. Again, sometimes the camera angle is deceptive.
Thirty seconds.
Well, I think it might just sneak in, Keith, off the near knuckle. It's one of these you just want to drop in dead weight. And I think it would possibly go. It was just Phil's reaction, but sometimes you can never quite tell with Phil's reaction, you know. The head shaking and everything, it means he's absolutely perfect on a finish.
Of course you're right, yeah. I'm just wondering if you'll think back to the frame we was talking about before, where he's obviously played the snooker, where he could have gone for a finish actually, and he played the snooker, didn't he? This time, I'm just wondering now if he feels obliged to go for the finish.
Well, without a doubt, I think it was a poor choice when he didn't go for the finish. You know, a player of his calibre, he could have knocked that finish in, and it'd have been a whole different ball game, I think, if he had done.
Yeah, but we know how it is. You know that if we have an easy opportunity to extract 2 visits, then you feel like, yeah, we'll do that. But on that particular occasion, he went and left Mick the one cushion escape. And of course, with the black over the pocket, it was pretty careless. And if that yellow does sneak into the middle here, which obviously it must do, I think Phil will probably think twice about it and think, yep, I'm going to go for the finish this time. Because you're playing someone like Mick, he's too good a player to leave, like the red is near the middle, too good a player to leave these opportunities.
I don't think he thinks the yellow goes, because he looks like he's going to develop and get in behind it there. He has done. Yeah, he obviously didn't feel it would drop into that middle pocket, or couldn't afford to play the shot in the way we described. They're just trying to drop it in dead weight, so had the angle there to move it out and did so.
Could be a very big moment here. I'm sure everyone would agree that Hill should have won this frame. He should be 7-4 up. But his lead, it looks like it's about to be cut to just 1. He was running away with it, with Mick Hill. He won those 5 frames in a row to lead 6-3. But in the end, he threw this one away. Phil Harrison gratefully takes it. Just 1 in it now. It's 6-5.
Leading 6 frames to 5. Time running.
Well, Mick Hill leading 6 frames to 5 as you hear, but he'll be feeling, I'm sure, he should be 8-3 up now. He's let this slip. He needs to dig deep, try and hold Phil Harrison off, and straight away on the break he's gone in off.
Yeah, and just
One visit. Open table.
sarcastic
Time
nod of the
limit.
head there from Mick Hill. And that's a poor break-off shot, because that cue was straight into that middle pocket.
It's so important to try and keep thinking positively, but it's not so easy to do when you've had the frame in the palm of your hands, as he did in that last one, missed and eventually lost it.
.30 seconds.
Could have possibly liked to have taken yellows here, but hasn't got an easy opening shot, so take the red run through, and he's
Red ball's in play.
sure just drop this red over the bottom left-hand corner pocket, Keith.
Well, that's what I'd be doing, Sean, that's for sure. Yeah, the way that the break has come out there, it wasn't a very good break, by the way. The balls didn't split well, apart from the fact that Mick obviously
Yellow ball's in play.
bounded the white straight into the pocket. But this is the kind of frame that Phil feels more secure in, I think.
Yeah, I think this is reminiscent of a 2009 final frame now. You know, that this is what secured the title for Phil Harrison, frames like this. As you say, none of the balls, only one ball made it into the top half of the table off the break.
.30 seconds.
Thinking of playing the tactical foul, because as I said before, if you're going to do it early. One of the options I think I'd have been looking at here is maybe if you're going to do it, pop one of the open yellows and play the yellow on, try and leave the yellow over the pocket.
Foul.
Time was
Again.
running out though, he just had to roll it in, I think, at the end there.
Yeah, again,
Two
Mick
visits.
starting to run out of time then. Just had to get down and play the shot.
It's a good opening shot there, was tough, queuing right off the jaws of the pocket. He's got his two visits, and he's even got a chance now to pot the red and try and disturb the others. It all depends how you feel, but the fact he's down to 4 reds, I feel with 2 visits this is his one opportunity maybe to have a go at this.
Yeah, great shot, because he could have looked to hit that quite hard and try and disturb both reds, but he's just disturbed the one red out and given him the opportunity to now to use this shot to disturb the other red, Keith, and certainly well back in it. Well, as I say, not the tallest of players, Phil Harrison. So, to take the rest here, just make this slightly more difficult.
But it was a well-judged shot, Sean, there. He's played a controlled cannon. A lot of players would have just gone steaming in there.
Yeah,
Some of the top players, obviously, we know how the balls are going to break, and he's played a very controlled shot.
30 seconds.
can't quite make up his mind which part of the spider rest he's going to use here. Just trying to get him close to that black. He's missed it.
Second visit.
Just never looked comfortable, did he? And of course the clock was ticking down as well. He knew he had to play the shot.
Just be looking to...
Time out.
Has anyone got a step ladder?
Time running.
Why is he asking for... No, he's asked for the spider, which Phil's got for him. The ref, Phil Turner, he said spider, definitely. So, yeah, they are. He's admitted to that now. I'm sure he thought he had, and then he sort of looked a bit incredulous at Phil when he's come back with the spider. He sort of said, no, I want the normal rest. So, I think he's
30
looking to
seconds.
just dolly this over the pocket now. Just trying. Oh, he spotted it. Just, I don't know whether it's just he just missed it that little bit, Keith. You know, he's aimed for the knuckle and, you know, obviously using the rest, he's just knocked it in.
Well, to be fair, Sean, you know, we normally play on the 7-foot tables, not the big one, and it's very rare that we have to use a rest and a spider, so we're not quite adapt to it like some of the other Q Sport players are. And what's happened there was when he played the other shot with the spider, he needed to put a touch aside on to develop the other red, and he's kind of miscued as he's played it. And then there, using the rest, like you say, he's just played the shot quite poorly, just for that reason, really.
Well, he's looked to play the triple, and he's missed it. Now, can Mick Hill take this opportunity? I think he's just said cheers to Phil. It sounded like as if to say, well, you could have left myself something a bit easier than this. Well, obviously sharing the joke, but it's back to the serious stuff now here. The Imperial Hotel in Blackpool. This Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships semi-final. As this match progresses, the tension starts to mount. Brilliant shot there from Mick Hill.
Well seen shot, one well thought out shot, and a well executed shot as well.
Looks like he's going the other side of the yellow. Lots of side. He's made contact with the red. Knocked it into an awkward position.
Well, I think what was happening there, Sean, he was in so much trouble, he didn't have a lot of options, and I think he was hoping just to, you know, nudge the red and get the cue ball up towards the baulk cushion there, and I think that's what he was hoping for. The fact that he's put the red safe really was irrelevant. He was just trying to hang in the frame. Another good shot there from Mick, though, biding his time. The way the yellows were situated, of course, it's quite easy for Mick to play these snookers, and what he's trying to do is extract the two visits and wait for a nice opportunity.
30 seconds.
It's like two rails to hit the red on the side cushion.
Well,
Desperately unlucky there from Phil Harrison.
2 visits.
He's missed the red by a whisker.
Time running.
Cue ball's found its way into that middle pocket. So Mick Hill, 2 visits. Can he take out this 12th frame and re-establish a 2-frame lead?
I guess you'd expect him to, but we expected him to win that last frame and it didn't happen.
Well, it's been the last 2 frames actually, Dave. But, as you say, Mick Hill really should have been out of sight in this match. Honestly can't see him make a mistake here. Looks to be plain sailing at the halfway stage for Mick Hill. As you say, 2 unforced errors in frames 10 and 11. Meant the lead was cut to just 1 frame.
Pretty nervy frame this, but Mick Hill can breathe a sigh of relief because he's won it and he's got the 2-frame lead back. He leads Phil Harrison 7-5.
13th frame. Phil Harrison to break. Trailing 7 frames to 5.
10 frames
Time
needed to reach the World Championship final. The defending champion Phil Harrison is trailing here 7-5.
He stayed with the power break there, made a ball. Keith Brewer there, just telling us in the background, far better break-off shot that is.
Maybe if he wins, Keith, he might get a cut of the money for advising him to change the break.
I think Phil's girlfriend would have something to say about that. I'm sure if he was to lift that, lift the title again, that
30
prize
seconds.
money will be going into a fund for newborn son. Just lost that a little bit. I think he's just about okay. But, very close to that yellow, a lot closer than he wanted to be. And probably this shot is sometimes, Keith, you're a bit limited as to what you can do with the cue ball, with it being so close to it and being close to the cushion.
Always extremely awkward, you know, when you're this close. Very easy to make a mistake. He seems to have played this okay now. Can he just move over a little bit more? That's fine. That's come out just about perfect, I would say. It doesn't look like that yellow actually pots just above the red. I'm just wondering if he's got to play a cannon there, Sean.
I think it probably goes bottom left as we look on the overhead, but it's a question of getting round to that position. So he needs to get somewhere near to the black for it. And obviously then he's going to have to get his position for that last yellow. Yeah, super shot there from Phil Harrison. Loads of power into that shot. Just got to hold his nerve now. Hold his shirt sleeve off that red. I'd like to see our referee Phil Turner actually on the other side here. I think he's probably got a good view now. Well, when he first struck that, it looked like it was going to stay out.
What that does tell us, of course, the way he's gone about the finish, is that this red does pop clean. It's been a good finish, this, guys, actually. Sometimes when you've made a mistake in a frame, in the next frame it's easy to lose your concentration, but it's been a nice finish.
Nerves of steel here from Phil Harrison. So he reduces his arrears to just a single frame again. Game on, it's 7-6. Well, who knows, we might need all 19 frames here to sort these two out. Phil Harrison has enjoyed having that trophy in his possession for the last 12 months, and it's going to take something to wrest it from his grasp, I think.
Trailing 8 frames to 6. Time running.
So Phil Harrison breaking off, trailing 8-6. 10 needed for a place in the final.
That's not what he wanted. He's made a ball, but the balls just didn't split at all. Interesting there, just before he broke off, Mick Hill actually wanted the cue ball. He thought the score was 8-7, and he was thinking it was him to break. It wasn't. So they've not come out too well here. I think it might have to be resort to Keith Brewer tactics here. Just drop the yellow over the corner pocket.
No, I'll be off for these, Sean.
30 seconds.
Absolutely no chance. There's more chance of me becoming the world champion than you going for this finish.
No, seriously, he's going to pot the yellow in the corner, split into the one by the black, which pot's in the middle, by the way, anyway. Yeah, it's all over on yellows. So it's seriously all over on the yellows.
You heard it here from Keith Brewer. Obviously Phil Harrison will be hoping it's all over here.
Yeah, well, Mick Hill thought it was 8-7. Phil Harrison will be desperate for it to be 8-7. Otherwise, he's going to be frame away from defeat.
Nice shot there. He is on that one, as you said, Keith. Just go into the right-hand middle. Just relying on playing the plant. Well, that is fairly straightforward. The yellow's close to the corner, top left-hand corner pocket as we look. I'm just wondering whether he might actually play that first.
I was just going to say that. I think I'd prefer to play this shot first, get one of the yellows out the way, and then come back for the middle, and then come back for the corner. I think that's probably the best way to play it. It's just slightly hampered, isn't he, playing these shots, but that would be the better way to play it. Yep, called it right there. I think the one in the corner will be last. Depends, if the black goes in the opposite middle, he may go corner then middles. It just depends where everything goes to. He's got to map it out which way he's going to go. He's just having a look now, see, to see if that black goes.
I just wonder if when he takes the yellow into the middle, he just nudges the black a little bit, and it just sort of frees it up away from those two reds, just to the left of it.
30 seconds.
I think he's just going to do what I've said. I think the black does go in the opposite middle, and I think going this way, Sean, there's less can go wrong.
Yeah, obviously running into another ball or something like that can always fraught with danger. I've seen on so many occasions.
Well, Keith Brewer did say at the start of this, it's all over on the yellows. And he was right. And Phil Harrison has pulled another one back. So Mick Hill now leads 8 frames to 7. The last time this match was level was 3-3. But if Mick Hill loses this one, it'll be level again at 8-all.
No, I was just going to say a much better break-off shot there from Mick Hill. Very unfortunate. The cue ball was cannoned back into the bottom end of the table. You see there, just looked to be coming nicely into that ball carrier. Yellow comes round, knocks it back down.
Yellow.
Yellow ball's nominated.
Sorry, red.
Red ball's in play.
Mick Hill's confused. He said there, I've lost the plot.
$30 seconds.
Oh, superb shot there from Mick Hill. Not only has he made the pot, but he's given himself the angle. This red into the right hand middle, just to develop his one awkward red on the table. You see there, bottom right, that red and yellow stuck together. Oh, lovely shot there. Great cue ball control there, Keith.
Yeah, great cue ball control, vision and knowledge, all wrapped into one.
I think you've seen a lot of players just run into that cluster of the two balls, and, you know, just trusting to a little bit of luck. But Mick Hill knew exactly where he'd got to strike to make sure he had a pot on the red. Great reply here from Mick Hill. I'm seeing that break and finish from Phil Harrison. Frame 15. Looking to return the compliment here. Just not quite sure. The sensible thing he's got up just to have another look.
What a fascinating duel this is. But at the moment, Mick Hill is just about managing to hold Phil Harrison off. And he's now one away from a place in the final. Mick Hill leads by 9 frames to 7. Phil Harrison has got to win the last 3 frames if he's to keep his title defence going. He trails 9-7 here to Mick Hill.
Well spotted.
Great break again there. Again, voice at the back of the commentary box. Keith Brewer gives it the thumbs up.
Yeah, but it just looks like it's like a different game when he breaks like this. I just thought the others, he's just opening the balls up. Here are my opponent, just help yourself. But now he's changed the break, and every time he's positive, he's breaking, potting the ball, and they're there every time. Fully expect him to clear up here once again. Well, let's face it, guys, he needs to now. Back against the wall time, obviously. But let's face it, he's done it before. No stranger to this situation.
Yeah, he's opted for reds. A little bit surprised. He can't see the one into the left-hand middle, because he knows he cannot afford to make a mistake here, where all those yellow balls are lying. He showed nerves of steel in frame 15 with a break and finish from a far more difficult position than this. And the one little thing in his favour in these last 3 frames is that he was to break off twice of those 3. So obviously a break and finish here, and all he can hope for is a mistake from Hill on his break.
Of course, Sean, that's all you can do in this situation. On your frame where you're breaking, it's a bit like tennis, of course, with your serve, isn't it? All you can do is win yours and then hope that you can break your opponent's.
Done the right thing here, Phil Harrison. Just cleared all those reds in the bottom half of the table. Just moved up, keeps all his work in this one area. Doesn't have to send the cue ball flying down the table. And the key to the frame will all be about position on his last ball to get on the black. Shouldn't be any great difficulty. Take top left, top right, comes down the table for the black, bottom left.
Oh, we know he can do it. He did it in his quarter-final against Adam Davis. 2 down with 3 to play, came through in a decider. This man will just not lie down, will he? still in it. Phil Harrison is still in it. Mick Hill's lead is cut to 9 frames to 8.
Leading 9 frames to 8. Time running.
So Mick Hill still needs one to go through to the final. This is his break shot in frame 18.
Well, the cue ball was travelling around the table, looked to be okay, then it's got knocked. It's going towards the middle pocket, everything happening here. The Imperial Hotel in Blackpool looks perfectly safe here. Yellow into the face, it's going in, and the yellow stops it.
Red ball's in play.
The old heart rate there would have shot it, wouldn't it, as he was watching that?
I think
30 seconds.
I'm just thinking what a result he's had there, guys, because that white was going in. And just look at the reds. How easy do you want to finish to close out a match? This is all about a bottle, really, I suppose. You know, the finish is there. It's just about controlling your emotions.
yeah, he's got no great work to do with the cue ball here. Probably the toughest shot he's got coming up now. He looks to take this one top right.
30 seconds.
One into this bottom pocket here. Doesn't fancy that. Great shot there from Mick Hill. What he's going to do is leave the 2 up the table as last, and then black into this bottom left-hand corner pocket.
Yes, mate.
Well, a year ago, Phil Harrison dealt out a huge disappointment to Mick Hill when he beat him in the final here. 11 frames to 7. Is Hill about to return the favour?
Great shot there from Mick Hill. Loads of cue power, screwed it right back across the table, off the side rail. And under normal circumstances, this is just straightforward. This is certainly not normal circumstances. This is for a place in this year's Foster's World 8-Ball Pool Championships final.
Well, we said the break was a big shot. He just about got away with it. The white nearly went in, but it didn't go in. He's cleared up, and Phil Harrison's title defence has come to an end in the semi-finals, and the man who's beaten him is the man he beat 12 months ago to win this title. Mick Hill is through to another world final. He's the winner by 10 frames to 8.
Well, it was far from comfortable, wasn't it? But Mick Hill has done it in the end. He's through to the final. Lee Kendall watching it with me here in the studio. That was not his vintage performance, but he got there in the end.
No, he did well to get through that match. Phil's a tough player and a worthy champion last year, and he wasn't going to give his title up easy.
Mick, every time we thought he was dropping into that good groove and hitting his shots, suddenly hit a problem, and Phil was just putting him back.
Yeah, Phil wouldn't let him get away at all, and in the end Mick's had to pull out a good finish at the end.
Lee, just for a moment, let's leave it, because we can now hear from the man himself. Here is Mick.
Mick, you're through to another world final. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels good, yeah. I think there's something like 4 since 04, since I won it, so obviously I'm delighted with that. Just obviously try and go one step further than I have the last twice, and that'd be good.
You looked like you were going to go 4-1 down early on, then you got a run of frames going, but towards the end it got very tight, didn't it?
It was just really, really strange feeling going into the match, because I felt really comfortable against Gareth yesterday. Phil obviously beat me in last year's final, and since then he's been beating me on a regular basis, and it's been strange because before the final I'd always had a good record against him, ever since I'd come on the circuit. He beats me in the final, he beats me at one of the tours, and all of a sudden I'm starting thinking, he's got the measure of me now, what am I going to do type of thing. Yeah, it was 3-1, he let me off the hook. I think he should have gone game to go 4-1, but I can understand why he didn't. And then somehow I managed to pull something out that's really fired me up. Then from there to 6-3, you know, I got a little bit of a spurt on, and then after the interval it was, you know, hard work again.
So Mick Hill sounding very relaxed, looking very relaxed. In fact, he sounds so much better now. It's all over. The pressure's off him. He looks far more relaxed than we've seen him in hours.
Yeah, it's tough playing out there. Nobody who hasn't played out there can understand the pressure these guys are under, and to pull out that finish when Phil's put him under that much pressure is a credit to Mick.
Do you feel then the way he is playing then, he's got what it takes to win this tournament?
Well, he's won it before. There's no reason why he can't win it again. And whoever comes through to meet Mick in the final, they're going to have to play well.
Absolutely. Lee, thanks for that. Right, just before we go, let's just remind you and confirm what's happened, because there's confirmation of Phil Harrison going down to Mick Hill 10-8. And still to come, of course, next time, the second semi-final, Gareth Potts against Craig Waddingham. You can see that next time here on Sky Sports. In the meantime, from all of us here, it's goodbye for now. Make sure you join us then.